everyone! This week I'm making Bravetart's Epic New York Cheesecake. This cheesecake uses a special pan that has a removable bottom and solid sides rather than the traditional cheesecake pan with the sides that open. Stella Parks actually had this pan created specifically for this recipe. You can make this cheesecake in a normal cake pan, though getting it out is a bit more of a challenge. I got her pan a while ago, but I haven't had time to check it out, so that's what I'm testing today. Come bake with me. All right, Stella had this pan created specifically for this recipe. I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet, but I'm very excited to do so. So she says to cover the bottom of it. Trim away the excess so that it lays flat. I want to leave a little bit of overhang so that it will. I want to leave a little bit of overhang so that it will actually stay in place. Going for the smallest amount of overhang that I can get away with. Okay, that looks perfect. Then we're going to butter the sides lightly. Like all good cheesecakes, it's got a graham cracker crust. Now we need to add our melted butter. Pinch of salt. I think Stella actually mixes this in the pan, but I'm always worried I'm not going to get it mixed enough. So now, gently pat that down. Try to make it even. Okay, that's as even as I'm going to get it. Preheat to 450. Cream cheese, goat cheese, lemon juice, vanilla extract, salt, and orange flower water. Well, I don't have orange flower water because, well, I don't have orange flower water. And I couldn't find any at the store, so we're going without that, but I have everything else. Stella says the cream cheese is supposed to be room temperature, so it is. I've had it sitting out all morning. This is the goat cheese. Okay, that looks creamy. She says not to overmix. This step's a little bit annoying, but I understand its purpose, which is to make sure that your cheesecake is as smooth as humanly possible. We're going to strain the eggs. Scrape the bottom to get as much of the egg mixture off as possible. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to heat up the cream. She says to heat this up to a full rolling boil. Now, very gently, we are going to pour the hot cream in a steady stream. Right, now we're going to put it in our pan. Okay, she says to bounce a spoon on top until you get rid of all the bubbles. Okay, I no longer care about the bubbles. I'm going to put this in the oven. Alright, that's going to be in there for 20 minutes. So the 450 time is done. We're going to turn off the oven and we're just going to let the oven door sit open for 10 minutes. Alright, now we're going to close the door and bake again at 250 for 35 minutes. Honestly, it's like I don't know how the oven works. Okay, now we're going to take it out and take its temperature. We're looking for 145. And I think I've got too much wiggle. So let's take its temperature. Nope, we're not there yet. So we need to go a little bit further. Back in the oven. I'm going to put it in for 5 minutes. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, my wobble's a little bit less. That's a good sign. We still have another 10 degrees to go. So I'm going to do 10 minutes. Okay, one more time. Oh, okay. Two degrees to go. We're going to give it 3 more minutes. Okay, hopefully this is the last time. Ah, perfect. Now we let it cool for 15 minutes. Stella says that cracking is the result of over baking.
which is a little annoying because I very carefully tried not to overbake it, only to get it up to the right temperature. But nevertheless, here we are. I'm running a knife along the edge after it's cooled for about 15 minutes just to give the cheesecake a chance to pull away from the sides while it finishes cooling. Do it an hour on the counter and then 12 hours in the fridge. Now we will put it in the fridge until tomorrow. Okay, so as you can see, the cheesecake has an enormous crack in it. That's okay. It's a little annoying, but if I were serving this to guests, other than my immediate family, I would pile fruit on top of it and no one would know. But now we need to get it out of this pan. So I'm gonna run a knife along the edges again. It has been in the fridge for about just over 24 hours because, you know, had to go to work. Now this pan has a bottom that's separate from the top, so I'm gonna set this here and push it down. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to have happen. Stella says to dip your knife in warm water prior to serving, so we're going to do that. Or prior to cutting, I mean. And we're going to take advantage of this enormous crack in the middle of my cheesecake. And we're going to cut right there. And then nobody will know. That is a piece of cheesecake. Go ahead, what's your review?
Spoiler, I already tried it and I really like it.
You like it? Should I make it again? Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think, dear?
I mean, it's cheesecake. You know what you're gonna get, which is cheesecake. That being said, it's just the plain part of cheesecake. It's, you know, quite lovely. You've made this before. I usually just eat it as is rather than adulterating it with fruit, pot fudge, caramel, all of which we have, by the way. So it's big. It's cheesecakey. I'm in favor.
Okay, thank you. So here are my final thoughts. I personally would have called this Mile High Cheesecake. It's the perfect epitome of the classic New York cheesecake. Rich, creamy, dense, tangy, all at the same time, while also being enormous. As Mike said, I have made this before. I used a tall cake pan and turned it out just like I would a regular cake. And it worked fairly well, but having the two-piece pan that lets the sides drop away was much easier. One other thing, the cheesecake cracked because I overbaked it. I forgot about carryover and I should have pulled it sooner from the oven. Overall, I would encourage anyone who loves cheesecake and wants to impress your guests to make this. And you should make it for guests. The recipe says it serves 16, so plan on sending some home with them too, if you don't want to end up eating the whole thing yourself, which you definitely could do. As always, if you have a recipe you'd like me to try, please put it in the comments and be sure to like and subscribe.